Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura. Thank you for joining us tonight on this beautiful Monday night. Currently, I'm alone. There's supposed to be somebody showing up. We'll see who it is. But I am glad to be here with you guys to talk about the Houston Dynamo. I know Jeff is somewhere in here looming. Jeff Strong. Is it 5 of 6 leading to 6 of 7 or 6-7? I love it. I love it. I don't know where I really need to sneeze. And I know that's random to say as I am by myself, but we are here nonetheless. I hope that you guys had a fantastic weekend. Positive vibes only, guys, as we start strong, Jeff, as we start strong this new week here. But we have a good amount of topics to touch on regarding the Houston Dynamo, of course. 2 games last week. Only one this week before it gets to going into another Wednesday. Well, there's a Tuesday game actually, but midweek game and weekend game. So it all leads up to the following, or everything leads up to a quick little rush, a little sprint to get us into the World Cup spirit. Let me see. We gonna strong this week. Arriba, yep. What's up, Tigres Gamer? How you doing? You and the kids look like y'all had a yes. I'll definitely be talking about that. As I wait in on whoever joins me, we'll wait a couple minutes. I'll talk to you a little bit about my experience. Yeah, it was. I know there was a midweek game with this Louisville match that took place, and we'll dig a little deeper. But yeah, I don't get to take my kids to the stadium as much as I would like, not because I don't want to take them, but because trying to cover the team and make it my duty to really be on top of it professionally and give you guys the best content that you guys can have regarding the Houston Dynamo. I tend to sacrifice a lot of my time taking my kids, my son and my daughter, to the game, but I make sure that every time there's a kids day, if our schedule is allows us, then we try to take them. We actually missed the one for the dash, and I was a little bummed out about that. They just love going for all the activities. As if you guys follow along our social medias, Jeff knows who my kids are, but towards the end, there was a little boy and a little girl. The little girl wearing the also lost for we could not find those head what's it called, a headband with the with Diesel's ears on it for a while, and I found them, so she got to wear them. But yeah, it was a fun time. And they did have a blast. We got there super early, and it looks like my co-host is here. Let me see. If he can hear me, can you nod if you can hear me? Yeah, he got it. What's up, Cristian Putalias? Welcome to the show, my friend.
Buenas. Sorry, guys, for the delay. Honestly, my brain was completely somewhere else. But I'm here. I made it late, but for sure, como dicen, tarde pero seguro.
Hey, no worries, man. I got stuck. I took out the trash, and there was an empty bucket. So I had to fill it up with everything I could find. So I was in the garage looking for random stuff to throw away that had been just sitting there, man. But welcome to the show, Cristian. It's I hate being by myself because, I mean, I don't know about hate, but I do. I don't know about you, but I hate hearing myself after a while. Just me, my thoughts. The guys here in the Bayou chant, they do a fantastic job. So the Bayou banter keeps it going. But yeah, I was just talking about, to break in the ice a little bit, about just Kids Day, and we can dig a little bit more into that when we get there, Cristian. But How's your week, man? It's been 7 days since the last time we spoke on here.
That's
So
true.
anything new? How's Bolt?
Good, man. Yeah, honestly, very crazy week for me. I'll let you know though. It's a little too personal, but we'll tell everybody later
Oh
on.
yeah, no, of course,
But
of
but
course.
but yeah, it's been crazy week. But I've been busy, just kind of getting stuff, ducks on in a row, or however you say it. But it's been good. At least everything looking positive. The Dynamo won. I was able to get back into play calling, which is something that honestly I knew I liked, but honestly I feel like I love it now.
Mm.
So it's a we'll talk about it also at the end whenever we talk about something positive. But doing stuff that you love is
And
also
he says Christian the runner too as
a
well. Yeah,
yeah.
we
Today I got some miles in, so
yeah.
shout out to
Very good.
everybody. Shout out to everybody that also
Uh,
keeps
you
us
should have,
running here.
Jeff,
You did a lot of walking too.
dude.
You've been active.
So yeah, we'll
I
definitely
see it.
talk a little bit about that.
Yeah,
But before we get too far into it, since we tend to always
yeah.
forget till an hour in, man, if you want to tell the people how they can connect with us and about our
100%.
friends.
Yeah. BayouCitySoccer.net, guys, is the website. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, go check it out. You can check us out online on Instagram, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, TikTok as well. So you can go check us out over there. There has been new and enhanced things on the website, so make sure you go check it out. There's a new roster thing that Dustin built up, the boss man. He put it together. Honestly, a great resource, a great tool for us that, sometimes we don't think about those things. And, for those that want to know who's a DP, who's an international, how much they get paid and stuff like that. So you can kind of, either hate correctly or support correctly. You can check it out. There's great tools there. He's also working on something really, really good too. We'll leave that. We'll tease you with that, but it's a cool tool that you can kind of be the coach for the day too. So it's awesome that Dustin is doing that, and our website keeps growing. So check it out, BayouCitySoccer.net. And yes, our friends, check out Ugly Guppy at uglyguppy.com. They've been doing a lot of great work over there. And obviously, if you need any printing need or anything like that for your business, or just for your next family vacation or anything like that, make sure you hit them up, and they'll be able to hook you up with that. And don't forget Elotes Bravos. Make sure you follow them on Instagram as well. And if you're at the stadium, why not get a little corner in the cup? Delicious as always.
Uh,
And
it hit
last
the
but not,
spot.
it hits the
It
spot.
hit the spot.
Honestly, I
It
had
hit
that
the
when I
spot.
went to go watch. We
You
went
went
to
to
go
the
watch
Dash
the
game, right?
Dash.
The
Yeah,
Kids
like
Day, was that Kids
the
Day?
kids day. Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Maybe we can kind of
It was good.
blend those together with Kids
Yeah.
Day and for the Dynamo for the
Yeah.
Dash. And yeah, of course, you can check out our friends at Unisport
Yes.
and use the code Bayou City 10. So go
Yes.
check them out. There's 2 locations. They've been having a lot of good events, a lot of Mexican national team related stuff. So yeah, of course. Yeah, it's some good stuff. But Christian, man, let's get into it. I think that we can go quite quickly with the recap of the matches
Mm-hmm.
from last week. We'll start off with the St. Louis game, or sorry, St. Louis game. St. Louis game's coming up. Louisville City FC for the U.S. Open Cup. The Dynamo get to host that match here last Wednesday. You were there to cover the match.
Yeah.
Well,
Quick plug. I was actually covering it not only for us for Bayou City Soccer, but I was covering it for the cup.us. That's the website, and you can also find them on Instagram too, the cup. And basically it's a website slash blog, whatever we want to call it, kind of what we do here at Bayou City. But all they do is cover the US Open Cup. So it's a great great resource also if you love the the US Open Cup from like the beginning to the end. Josh and the team over there, they do a great job kind of putting everything together in that website. So go check it out. And yeah, like you said, I got lucky enough to kind of cover that Dynamo game as for the cup.us.
so another USL matchup. I think that these teams that the Dynamo have faced, in the cup, both of them in very good form. Louisville City obviously gave Houston a run for their money. It was a game that Houston held the possession, the shots, everything, but the goal was just not coming. And it just took one counterattack, perfect counterattack at that by Louisville City, making that an interesting game, right? 1-0. It seemed like the cup upset was coming.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the players were basically gassed out. And none other then Erik Sviatchenko decides to put that Superman cape on and score a banger of a goal. I mean, honestly, that was a fantastic goal. I don't have all the highlights. That's why I'm rushing, but I do have the goal. So I can play here. And I know you talked to Erik. I know people probably didn't hear everything he said, but anything you want to add about the goal or any other thing that he may have mentioned, feel free to add it, Christian, as well.
Yeah, no, obviously, like you mentioned, they were all gassed out. They've been playing a lot of games. So at that point, he said that he actually wanted to come out too, in a sense, because we see it after he scores. He kind of throws himself on the ground because he was dying. Poor guy. Look at him.
Yeah, he was
the old man.
Sviatchenko Airlines. I love that, by the way.
That is good.
Maddie says his head hit the ball on corners all night. Yeah, he was dangerous all night. And he talked about that as well.
He talked about that. He felt like he was dangerous. And then, like I said, at the end, he wanted to come out, but there was no more substitutions. So he just they told him, just go play as a 9, go see if you can get some magic happen. And luckily enough, 89th minute, he made magic happen.
And what a fantastic ball, obviously.
Yes.
Fantastic delivery by Hector. Hector came in the second half.
Yes.
And just took over, as we know Hector can do. And, he got 2 assists. So we'll lead this for the second goal. But obviously, 90th minute, the game gets pushed to extra time. I'm sure the Dynamo did not want to go to extra time. So they go into a 1-1 draw match with 30 more minutes to play. And I was gonna say maybe not, the people you expect to score goals in this match. One of them being Erik Sviatchenko being a defender, and then the other one being a striker. Sounds kind of odd, but he's been struggling this year. But Ponce gets on the board as well. Same, a nice little passing was happening. You give Hector at that as an assist.
Yeah.
Very good strike by Ponce. I don't know. I know he's right-footed. He tries to favor his left foot quite a lot, unless he's left-footed and we're all wrong. But very good strike. Yeah, very good strike by Ponce there. Good finish. Outside of the ball, he made it a little bit difficult because I feel that you guys are looking. Arthur makes a fantastic run. He's wide open.
Yeah,
that could have been a way to go. And Arthur, you could tell he was kind of like, man, what the heck? And then once he scored, I was like, all right, fine, we'll let it go.
Yeah,
and he went to go celebrate.
But it's a good run that Ponce makes in a sense, because he does go with the rest of the guys to kind of look for that cross that is coming in,
right?
And then once he sees that the ball goes back, he goes and he checks in. So, not to kind of cover all the kind of drought that he's been having, but that right there kind of shows the quality that he could bring, right? I mean, we wish that he could do that every single game, but at least there's a glimpse of something.
And it makes you think. I know, following the Dynamoverse, especially on Twitter, you get to see the fact that this guy's only scoring against USL teams. So that's his level at this point. I know Dynamo memes, it loves his Ponce memes. So we'll continue to see them until he finds the back of the net against a MLS competition. And I was really thinking that scoring back-to-back goals in the US Open Cup would kind of boost his confidence, but to be able to score in regular season, but it hasn't been there yet, Christian. But what else that you want to point out? Maybe I know you talked to Agustin Resch.
Literally that Resch. I mean, at the end,
if he was 6 inches shorter, he would not get there, man.
It's funny because since I was with the Cup guys, they kind of had a little kind of group thread or chat thread going, and one of the guy that actually covers Louisville on that same thread, he said the same exact thing. He was like, if this guy was normal size, he would have missed it. And then you at the same time, you were like, if this guy was 6 inches shorter, like he's 6'6", so he would have been 6 foot, like a regular person like us, right?
Because he
Or
didn't jump or anything. The ball just hit him right in the face.
just straight
So
to the
if
straight
he,
to the face.
it was it was funny. But another, I think we're starting to get that. And again, we'll lead into obviously the Colorado game because it kind of goes, hand to hand, even with the amount of rotation we saw in the last 3 games. But defensively, the team is just starting to look like a Ben Olsen, defensive scheme. Like, not a lot of errors in the back. Even though there's changes, the players look like the chemistry is still very good between all the center backs. So I think that's definitely of note. And now we know that the Dynamo are going to be playing against St. Louis City in St. Louis City. It's in 2 weeks from now, right? The 19th.
Yeah, I'm actually looking it up right now.
I know it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, May 19th. Yeah,
it's going down on a Tuesday, man.
On a Tuesday.
So there's 3 games before the Dynamo take on that match. And again, this is a quick sprint. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games before the big awaited break for the World Cup, which is around the corner, Christian.
Yeah, bro.
It's around the corner, Christian.
Around the corner. That's crazy. We have a World Cup here, bro. Isn't that crazy? We have a
World Cup. And you know what? Maybe breaking news, but we'll be covering the World Cup. So Bayou City Soccer. You know what? Shout out to Victor Araiza for pushing that as well. And the sense of we were almost about to drop the ball for whatever the reason. And we weren't kidding. We tried it quite a few times, and FIFA was just not doing things. FIFA was doing FIFA things, and but we were able to get some folks from Bayou City Soccer to be registered for the World Cup. So we're excited that we'll be there. Christian, you have to be there at every single match, man. 7 games doesn't matter.
I got shoes to fill, honestly. I'm one of the lucky, honestly blessed representatives of Bayou City Soccer that is going to be helping cover. It's going to be a group of us. But yeah, man, like Jay Hurtado says, we cover all things Houston and all things soccer in Houston. So where soccer is being played in Houston, Bayou City Soccer is going to be there. So that is hopefully we're bringing
where Houston
the best.
Soccer lives, man. It can't be 100%.
Yeah. So we're hoping to do a great job. I know the guys will, and same here. I'm going to give it my all for. Hopefully, you guys can live through me, and I can live through you guys as well. So we can do that as a team.
Yeah, I mean, Manny took my spot, but you know what? I'm gonna take his spot at the World Cup, the Women's World Cup in 2027. Just so
there you go.
He can feel it. No, I'm kidding. But no, we're happy that we're a part of this. And I always joked around since I joined Bayou City Soccer, saying my contract goes to the World Cup. Once the World Cup ends, that's it for me. But no, I'm just kidding. I know you guys will miss me too much, so we'll try 100%. To chug along till we would die till the wheels fall off at this point, guys. But
hold on, just because you're being humble in a way, but just to let everybody know, watching and listening, if you guys knew like all the stuff that Rudy here does, and Dustin and Joey and some of the other guys, but and just in the main 2 guys, Rudy and Dustin, if you guys knew like all the work that they do, honestly, daily, like it's crazy to see. I'm always jealous, and I feel bad sometimes because I feel like I should be doing more, and I try to do the best I can with the time that I have. But if you guys knew the time, and I always, man, the respect that I have for you guys, the respect that I have for you. I mean, Rudy, I tell you all the time, but Dustin, that we never see his face. Dustin has been doing this for like 10 years, man. He's been covering soccer with the MLS show he had, and now like this, that he's been doing for so many years. And he's the one that kind of recruits people. He's the one that comes up with ideas. We're just kind of here to help and make it, come to fruition. But like the ideas and the stuff that you guys do, honestly, take off my hat to you guys. And I feel honored that I'm able to do this with you guys and just kind of because we also live life outside of this.
Oh
We're good
yes,
friends.
life be
So
lifing, man. That's
life
for
is
sure.
lifing. So it's not only we built a beautiful thing around soccer, but also friendships outside of it as well. So
Yeah, no, I
just
mean,
letting you guys know.
it's been crazy, right? Like the ride. I think was it a few weeks back, a month back, I found like the original message I did to like join Dynamo Theory, which was 5 years ago, which time has absolutely flying.
Yeah,
And you know that you and a bunch of the guys, we're brothers, right? And we even have a
yeah,
sister in Madeline that is very active as
100%.
well. So you're part of the crew. We're a loyal crew.
Yeah,
So if that's something that you've ever tried for, to use your time to follow and cover the sport, man, the sport that we love, feel free to reach out.
yeah,
We definitely have a spot for you. And it is a lot of work. It is to be consistent. We've seen other programs come and go, and we
yeah.
understand that it's not easy.
It's not, bro.
Especially whenever you have kids, especially when you have a full-time job, especially whenever you have all kinds of other stuff happening. But man, that's what we're here for. And all that to lead with perfect segue into Kids
There you
Day,
go.
because
There you go.
I started talking before you joined. Jeff said, they looked like me and my kids were having fun, and we had a blast. And I mentioned the fact that it's difficult for me to take my kids as much as I want to, because I understand the need of the dynamo to be covered and the dash to be covered.
Yeah,
So if I'm at the stadium, I'm usually at the press box, covering
for sure.
and being as professional as I can be. But when I go with my kids, or when the time that I do go to the stands,
Let
dude,
loose.
there's I separate quite quickly. I can separate my fandom.
You should hear the things he says to the players.
Oh no, that's one thing. We talked about this. Remember when with the little kid shushing? I'm like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of things I don't say
yeah,
but no, man, I let it. It's a stress-free environment, and maybe sometimes you get more stress at the end of the game than you wanted to, but this time around it wasn't that bad.
yeah,
We got there pretty early. My kids love face painting. I know your kids probably love face
yeah.
painting when you guys go to the kids event, but we got there literally. Well, I'll take that back. They opened the gates at 6. I think we got to the parking lot like at 5:40, and my daughter was knocked out, so we let her sleep another couple 5-10 minutes. And so we were the first ones to get face painted, and that was it. We're like, what do we do now? We have still
Yeah,
like 90 more minutes to go. We were able to find more things for them to do.
yeah,
My kid's a big nerd, and he loves robotics and stuff like that, so that has some of that going on for the Dynamo game. I don't know if they did for the dash. And then
no,
I think that's pretty much it. I don't know what I did. They didn't have bubbles and stuff like that like they did
yeah.
once, and for the dash, I think, when I took them
For the
last year.
dash, it was they had stuff outside. They had like a band playing outside, and then they did have the bubbles for the kids, and they had ice cream. So literally, you can show up, kind of show your ticket, and you get a free ice cream. So everybody was already all ready, sugared up before we even got to the stadium. And then once they opened the stadium, yeah, face painting, the bracelets, friendship bracelets. You can create your own sign. What else do they do? Just like a bunch of like little things. They had Diesel signing some autographs and stuff like that. But yeah, they love those things. Kids get amazed with the smallest things. So it's awesome that they do that, and
Yeah.
they make it a family event. So it's awesome.
And I don't know if Rushan heard this, but yeah, if I was when Jeff was talking about, like, that we had fun, I was like, yeah, maybe not a lot of people like know my kids or seen my kids. I do post my kids. I'm not that. I don't want to call them weird parents, because there's some weird parents that they put like a little like smiley
I
face
live
on
with
their
one.
kid. Yeah, it's and I'm like, but you post them everywhere else, so it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point? But anyways,
Yeah,
my
to each
kids
their
are
own.
recognizable, because I mean I put them on my social media
Yeah.
all the time.
And
So
they kind of look like you too.
right,
So-
but we were able to find Rushan. We were finally able
Oh,
to
nice.
find the freaking the headband,
ears.
the little
Yeah.
ears, yeah, for my daughter, and she basically was not gonna go to the game if she didn't have them. So I had to look and look
And
and look
find
till I
them.
found them. So it worked out absolutely, it did. And no, we had fun, man. You said at the seeds that we tend to do giveaways, so shout out to
Yeah.
those giveaways for the seeds that we did. But which, by the way, we gave some tickets for the
Yeah.
U.S. Open Cup game, and we got our friends from Elotes Bravos to hand or to give a voucher as well for a corn and a cup and a
Nice.
agua fresca. But so we sit on the section that you kind of know, Christian,
Yeah.
actually next to it, because I couldn't get like two more seats next to my normal ones. So they moved us a bit, and it was still a really good angle. And again, we were there for such a long time, and Madeline was able to, come by and record them and asking them like how what was their favorite part about going to the stadium, which they did a fantastic job by asking quite a few other
Great
people.
video.
And but eventually at halftime, my daughter was like, I'm tired. Can we go home? And I was like, no, we're not going home.
Bro.
This is the perfect, like, I just felt the Dynamo were going to win, and we'll get into that. But I told David, because I went with David, shout out to our Spanish recap, David
Yes.
Dominguez, that always takes
The
care
poets.
of us. Yeah, the poet. What is it? I can't think of the name. Movimiento Naranja, like
Yes.
very own. But I told him, like, hey, dude, what if we just go over there, like with the La Barra Brava? Like, I just telling him that he knew exactly what I meant, and so we went over there to. But this time around, we didn't go on the bottom. I was like, let's go up top. I've never really been on top with EB and El Batallon over there, and our boy Hooties was there, and of course, got to link up with him. But oh, my kids it woke them up, man. It's not like they were sleepy; they were a little tired, but the jumping, the chanting, the water being sprayed, everything, it woke them up. They had a blast, and eventually even Madeline made her way up there too. So from there we got to see the winning goal. So we'll get into the highlights here. And Christian, I know that you got to watch part of this game, which is not a big deal, but we'll play the highlights and we can conversate. And anybody else, they had Clutch there. Yes, my son was very disappointing that he lost to Clutch at Futbolito. He was like, dang, he scored on us. And my daughter lost to Chasta, so she was very disappointed. But here's the game. Hopefully we don't get kicked out of YouTube. If we do, let us know. But obviously the game is a very even game, not the game against Colorado in Colorado that we saw. Bond had himself a decent game. He had some good saves. I know this year is Zach Steffen that also made some. There was one shot that
questionable one.
Yes, and I don't know if it made it into the highlights, but it bounced. It looked like it was the line, but it was definitely questionable. Here you could already see Anali being a rocket. Who had a fantastic game? Chache had a good game.
Really?
Chache had a good game.
My question was, did they find the spot for Anali in that left side?
So Anali was okay. Yeah, up. Yeah,
I think this is the ball.
This is the questionable one, right?
I think.
Yeah. That to me looked like it bounced in, man. But when they showed it's because it's really difficult to see. Let's see. Let's see. This one, I guess, is what they went with. No, I don't know.
It's weird.
His body blocks it.
Yeah.
But it could be that it hit the line. It was too close. But here it is, the second half. As you can see, Bond did a really good save. Go back.
Point blank.
Yeah, that was point blank in the second half. He did two of those, I believe, in the second half. But yeah, that was incredible. And Bond was feeling it. We know that we've talked about how he makes some really acrobatic saves, but then he has some really bad ones that you're like, dude, that needed to be stopped. And another guy, Felipe Andrade was everywhere. The defense was just really good, I would say. Like, it was just solid. Resh and the combination of whoever wants to be next to him is fine. This year, my God, I don't know what we can say about Ponce nowadays. I know Ponce, you can say it was behind him. Let me go back a bit. But once again, very good run, right? Anali uses his speed. Anali could have finished it if he wanted to and chip, but that's not his thing. And
Yeah,
Ponce
it was
just
behind him.
it was behind him, Chris. I will definitely say that, but he could have done more. Like because the ball's not going extremely fast. He could have stopped the ball and try to hold
Yeah,
on to it. But
I don't
yes, it
know.
was definitely behind him. I
Yeah,
mean,
because I mean he was going full speed.
yes,
So
this was here another very good, and he
bogus.
didn't cross it. I think he's fed
Yeah,
up with Ponce.
he took the shot. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like
Ponce is
he's
wide open.
he's not gonna scare and he's not gonna
Now,
score.
is
Anyways.
Ponce gonna score? Probably not. But I think you have to put it in the middle.
Yeah, you got to put it across.
Um, this here I believe is where the goal. No, that's not the goal. That's not the goal. But this is a very good shot too. That just, I mean, it's one of those bounce
Yeah,
shots that could have
those are
gone
difficult.
in. This is the goal because it goes from a corner. Anali is
Fresh.
as the left back did what he needed to do.
Ooh,
Obviously, he's perfectly there. And as soon as
dang.
again, I was watching this from the opposite goal. As soon
Yeah.
as he took that touch, I'm like, he's gonna shoot it and it's gonna go in. That's what I told David. I mean, obviously, this happens like in a split second, and sure enough, when I just see the back of the net just rattle, I was like, my goodness, what a strike! I mean, he hit that. He hit
He hit
that
that
hard.
so hard. Like Stefan didn't realize it was in until it was like afterwards.
Yep.
Like that thing went so fast.
Yeah. This is literally kind of what my view was because I was behind the other goal. I just thought,
Oof.
ooh. When I saw that ball rattle, that was incredible. And obviously that gives Anali match day or team of the match day honors. So he makes that. I don't know how many
Huge.
Dynamo
Yeah.
players have been on it this season, but there's been a few.
Uy,
Yeah, this
uy.
was another one that was kind of like tricky.
La tengo miedo.
Yeah, it started to felt like that a little bit once it
Oh,
comes out.
Bond, what are you
That
doing,
one, that
baby?
one felt like, come on, Bundy. I said Ponce. Bundy is like, what are you doing? And then he makes another
Ooh,
good
and then
save.
he redeems himself.
Yeah,
Dang.
I'm telling you, it's like he. I mean, dude, the way he took him forever to get back in goal too.
That's
And he just
crazy.
smacks it out. So yeah, it's
Bro,
you
I was
know,
watching the first half. You know, Atencio when he Josh Atencio when he
yes,
went down, that dude would and like when he was walking out of the field, he looked lost.
really.
Like
That's
like
the defender, right? That
oh
got
my
hurt.
god, yes, the I think he was a like a defensive midfielder.
Yes,
Poor guy, dude.
number 6. Yeah,
Like he literally like was walking and he was just like looking
he was
like where am I?
right.
It's like bro,
Is this heaven?
yeah, like and he got hit like like early,
Yeah, it
and then
happened
he
pretty
came out
early.
like 20 minutes after he got hit.
Yeah, let
It
me
was
see, I'll
terrible,
tell you.
but good game by the Dynamo. Good thing that I mean, that's one of the things that we always talked about the Dynamo, right? Like not being able to hold the clean sheet, not able to push. I mean, I feel like this year they've been a little bit more scrappy than they usually are in these 1-0 wins. I don't know on top of my head how many like tight games they had, but they had a bunch. And I feel like
Oh, last year? You mean last year? This year they have 0 ties.
no, I'm saying like scrappy wins, like when
Oh,
they're
okay.
when they're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
tight. It's a tight game,
Got you.
tight. I feel like I mean you see it on the title, right? 506, like
Yes.
that's not bad, right? Like
Yeah,
I
and
remember
and
we
for the
questioned
people
it at
that
the beginning, but
because obviously at one point they had 3 straight losses, right? They
yeah,
lost to I have it in front of me. They lost to FC
yeah,
Dallas, they lost to Seattle, and then they lost to Colorado 6-2.
yeah,
And
yeah, and that
then
was like
since then they won US Open Cup, they beat El Paso 4-1. Then they went to Orlando, beat them 1-0. Then they hosted San Diego and 1-0. They went to Austin 2-0, lost 2-1 against Louisville, and then 1-0
1-0.
against
Yeah.
Colorado. So the goals has slowed down them scoring goals, but I think it was really because they were just getting into shootouts, and it wasn't beneficial for them finding some chemistry in the back. We know that Lucas Halter was a starter, and his injury definitely rattled the backfield. And of
Yeah.
course, apart from that, you get Antonio Carlos red carded, you get Sviatchenko red carded. So it
Yeah.
was difficult.
It's like red
Uh,
cards in like the first 3-4 games.
yeah, it was difficult to just naturally maintain some kind of um um what's the
Like a
word?
group who come
Yeah,
like yeah,
to keep to maintain
consistency in a way.
consistency there in the back. And I will say though, again, we already talked a little bit about him, but Agustin Resch obviously has been probably what they expected.
Yeah,
Femi to be last year, and this guy,
100%.
is one of those guys that veteran in college, older 23, 24-year-old, has the physical attributes to be a player in the league. And this guy so far has been it. Has he make any grievous mistakes? No. Something that Femi,
Yeah, unfortunately.
hopefully his ears aren't busting here, but he struggled with the
Yeah.
opportunities that he was getting, and Resh has done best so far with.
And to give some grace to Femi, I mean, it was a different type of like play of style, right? I think Joey was the one that pointed it out when we were talking about it last time. And he's 100% right. I mean, they were asking Femi to be freaking, what not Guardiola, to play a Guardiola-esque, style of soccer, and
Yeah.
to be like Sergio Busquets coming off the back, like, and unfortunately he didn't have the skill set to do that. Resh, obviously right now he's just being asked to defend, and he's doing that very well.
Yeah.
We will never know if Femi could have done what Resh is doing now in the system that they're doing playing now. But it's good to see that, at least Resh, being in the same situation of kind of like getting thrown into the fire. He didn't even have a contract. Like, he went from a trial list, because I remember I saw him, everybody saw him when in that first open practice, and we were like, who's that tall dude? Like, we don't even know who that is. And then they were like, oh yeah, he was the guy that I think he got signed, right? Like on the draft. And
Yeah,
at
he
that
got
point,
picked up in the draft,
yeah,
and he got a Dynamo 2 contract.
yeah,
So,
and you're still kind of like trying out, basically, in a sense, right? Like,
yeah.
just because you get brought in doesn't mean that you get to play, right?
Oh,
What
Rushan, that
happened?
made me laugh. He said Femi got good YouTube videos that had like,
That's
yes,
funny.
yes. All
I
right.
mean, which is funny because Femi was also like defender of the year and all these like
Yes,
great
yeah.
accolades in
A very
college,
good
and
school. He came
Agustin
from a
did
good
too.
school.
You
Yeah.
know, so but that also goes to show that there's levels, right? Like, there's levels to this. College player can never be compared to what a professional soccer player. I mean, we see it. I think you see it more whenever we are at the game, like when you're like at the level of the players, like the intensity. Same thing, random, but same thing happened to me watching a basketball game live. I was kind of close, and I was like, man, this is basketball super physical. Like, on
Mhm.
TV, it doesn't look like this, but like when you're there and you see physically, like when you play. And then one time I remember we played the media match, and
Yeah,
like they gave us the official balls that they play with.
yeah.
Those things are heavy as hell. I was like, you go flashback in your mind, like, I've never played with balls that are, like these
Like
this
bricks.
heavy, like, yeah,
Yeah.
like bricks, literally. But there's levels to this, in a
No,
sense.
and I think another thing that helps Resh a lot too, that he played in those, whether they be semi-professional teams. Like, whenever he wasn't in college, he was spending
Yeah,
time in USL 1 and USL 2. And yes, it's not the biggest of levels per se, but at the end of the day, like it's a professional environment because you have to win.
yeah. And then also, not to toot our own horn here, but he comes from Argentina. He comes from one of the best, like, quote unquote, soccer schools in the world. I mean, he comes from Argentinos Juniors, which is like, they call it the El Semillero del Mundo. Like, a lot of players, that like a bunch of the greats Argentinian soccer players come from that, kind of line of soccer players. And I mean, and that's where he got his basics from, right? And I feel like, not that Femi didn't have that, but I feel like, South American players, or players from this, from the lower countries, have a different mentality when it comes to like sports, or not, maybe not sports, but like in soccer in general, right? And I think, you know psychologically, he does play with a different mentality. I think
Yeah.
I don't think not to same thing, not to put the kid down, but I've never saw like the intensity of like Femi yelling and going at it. We saw Resh, defending that header and against Louisville, and he was yelling like he had scored a goal. But it's just like that intensity that he also brings, and it's good to see that a young guy with not a lot of experience can kind of step up and be part of that and kind of hold the 1-0 lead to all the way to the end with a difficult team, because Colorado's a difficult team. I mean, we saw what they did in the first game and the second game. I mean, they do have ballers. So to kind of control guys like the number 9, I can't remember his name, but like dudes like that, like those are veteran number 9s in the league that they'll score every single game, and you have to know how to play. I mean, I remember Femi's like first game he had to play against, like, I don't know, was it Luis Suarez?
I was gonna say it was Miami.
Yeah,
Miami,
like he had to defend Luis Suarez off the bat, like off the rip.
And Peter Musa, that, I mean, he scores a ton of goals. Yeah, I mean, obviously not at the level that Luis Suarez was, and some other of the guys that spent time in Premier and La Liga, but players still that can make some damage.
Let me ask you a question to, I guess, to be a little bit controversial, but I think it's something that we should talk about, just because we do cover soccer in Houston. There was a Houston Chronicle article that came out during the week. Obviously, I didn't read it. I just read the headlines, but I think we all got the gist of it. Talking about attendance and obviously a midweek game. Talked about basically the U.S. Open Cup game and how, quote unquote, dead it was. I was there. I'll be honest. I was in the booth, in the media booth. So like I didn't get a lot of noise, but I mean, it looked lively. And we had other people like Cesar Procel, our friend. He's saying that, he thought it was a good atmosphere given, obviously the small number of fans. But how did you see Saturday, like atmosphere wise? I mean, you kind of talked about it. It was Kids Day. So, those things kind of bring families and kind of a little bit more people. But how did you see that? And I mean, what are your thoughts on
I mean, from my experience, even before covering the teams, right? I used to go to I would make sure to go to the Wednesday matches or whatever time the U.S. Open Cup matches, and it was that it was just going to be you and maybe 5 other people, but you were there, right? And so whenever you see them bash, and I don't even know. I mean, obviously the Chronicle made his way around, but other people asking questions to the players and the coach, obviously Van Olsen, like about the amount of people there on Wednesday. It's like, then you really haven't done your homework, because this is not new. Not just, yes, the US Open Cup, depending where you go, is going to draw more people, right? I mean, Seattle's probably going to still be packed. Maybe a little bit, they may see it a little bit smaller of a crowd. Maybe some other teams that have a better home crown, every single home game can probably still draw a decent crowd. But in Houston, since as far as I can remember going to those games, again, it's a not, if you get 5,000 people, call yourself lucky. And the atmosphere is still there. I was even there when they won it in 2018. And I was telling somebody this. I mean, the final itself also wasn't not full, a packed stadium. I was there too. You got like 65, 70% in the stadium. And I remember Philadelphia Union fans traveled in a good bunch for that match as well. Yeah. But just in general, the U.S. Open Cup has always been put on the back burner. And obviously, it's a tournament that MLS, I don't necessarily think they're a fan of, because they don't make a ton of money out of it, right? I think this is a tournament that, if anything, can help the lower teams from the USL Championship and USL 1 and 2 and all those teams, and kind of make some money, get a brand out of it. And to me, those are the best stories, right? The Cinderella stories. And I did find it interesting that after this last round ended, MLS posted something about the US Open Cup. I'm like, dude, what the hell? That was like that was weird, because that's not their MO. And sure, we understand that for many of the coaches that have been here before, like Ben Olsen, since we have him here in house in Houston, it's important for him, right? Because he's a guy that grew up watching this tournament before the MLS was a thing, and he understands what it is to win it as a player and as a coach, right? And he knows the importance of that tournament, and it should be important. It should be a tournament that's taken seriously, like the FA Cup, right? Like La Copa del Rey. Like it's a magical storytelling as we know soccer can be.
Yeah.
And the way that it gets, diminish and I mean, even Dustin pointed out the other day, right? Like they're playing US Open Cup matches and they're playing Champions League matches. And I'm like, when will you ever see them play Champions League and FA Cup games, in England?
Yeah.
Never. So that tells you how much they care about it in that sense, right? And
Yeah.
the finals are usually not on the weekends either. Is usually on during the week, and stuff like that is just like it makes no sense. Like I think that the fans that really enjoy it, and I know a lot of the people that follow us here by UC Soccer, like they die hard fans that they want any cup and any tournament to be taken seriously. And in my
Yeah.
case, I'm not a really big fan of Leagues Cup, but I know that like Joey likes Leagues Cup, right? And there's a cup for everybody. And of course, MLS is gonna be pushing Leagues Cup more than anything because they
Yeah.
understand the
Financially.
monetary aspect. Exactly. Financially, they're gonna make a bang. So it's to each their own, but I just feel that you can't, get rid of the atmosphere and or
Yeah.
what this cup means, Christian.
No, yeah. It brings nostalgia. It brings like, it just kind of brings you the roots of like the actual game for what it is, right? Just like the game is like at no matter the level is 11 against 11, and we're gonna fight it out. Like
To me,
like to
to
say,
this day, I've been going to a ton of games, right? Since 2018, I probably have been to 95% of the Dynamo games at home.
yeah,
And to this day, my favorite game, and granted, I mentioned that I went to the US Open Cup final, and that was fantastic. But
yeah,
the best game I've ever been to was in that competition when they played against LAFC, because Carlos Vela was in it, right? And it was the LAFC that was brand new to the league, and they just played good soccer. And I remember that game going 3-3 all the way into penalties. And I remember like being on one side of the field, and when they picked the the uh the the
the
net that
opposite
was
side.
going to take the penalties, everybody rushed to that side. And I remember running with my
Yeah.
brother to like trying to get a good view. And for Latif blessing, that'd be a night he'll never forget, because he skyrocketed that ball over the top, and the Dynamo make it into the final. And so those are the storylines that are created in this type
Yeah,
of matches for sure, man. But um
it's
talking
true.
to LAFC, and that's why without even thinking, I kind of
There you
segue
go. You
to
summoned
the
it.
right
Huh?
thing. Look at
You're
this.
good at this, huh?
Nah, dude, like it takes some practice here. But yeah, the next game for the Dynamo, we don't get a midweek game for the Dynamo. There is one for the
That's
Dash.
good.
So Houston Dash will be playing on Wednesday. I don't know if they're gonna have a orange and blueprints. Now thinking about it, I know that they did record out of their regular schedule block. They recorded on Sunday
Yeah,
night, so there is an episode out there if you guys
could do a
are
watch
looking for
along.
a stream. Yeah, possibly. Why
Yeah,
not? It
maybe.
is a really late game, so if you guys want to stay up till midnight, I think the
Yeah,
kickoff is at 9
tell you.
p.m. But
Yikes.
no game for the Dynamo midweek. Obviously we'll keep you guys posted. We are working on an orange talk, a very cool one. It's been a minute since we had this guest on, so if all goes well and we confirm it, possibly a person that you guys will be very interested to get their thoughts on will be joining Orange Talk Thursday.
Make sure
So
you join the Bayou Manter on Discord, and you'll get first dibs, and you might be able to get a question in as
yeah,
well. So
yeah. Once we confirm it, Bayou Banter, we'll drop it on there as soon as we get confirmation. But it all looks like Thursday we'll have a very good episode, and I
nice.
know there's gonna be a lot of questions and a lot of answers that you guys will want to listen to. But yeah, going into this game, obviously LAFC beat the Dynamo, as we talked about, in that losing streak 2-0 in Houston. That was the game that Antonio Carlos lightly touches Sonny and the Kenko. We're gonna call it Kenko today. And Sonny goes down. There's a straight red card, taints the game.
Literally
and
changes the whole thing.
that's it. And then we also get Agustin Bosad get red carded towards the end of the
At the
game, and
end,
it
yeah.
leads to the second goal, if I'm not mistaken. Or
Yeah, basically.
yeah, let me see.
It
Was
was
that
it was
right?
kind of fine till then, and then well, yeah, because
Yes.
he was like,
Yeah. That was the goal. That was
yeah,
the goal. Because that was from the free kick. Well, no, it was a free kick, but he got a red card in the 76th minute. But
yeah.
yeah, it was a game that the Dynamo had, and I think we've been saying this, Christian. I am not worried about the Dynamo only winning 1-0 games. I'm okay with that. If you're winning, you create clean
3 points
sheets,
or three
you
points.
take them. I
Yep.
know people are gonna want to play pre-soccer, but look what pre-soccer
Nah,
got you. You got you a really good, fun game in Dallas, and you came back with
yeah,
0 points. So
exactly.
I don't care how pretty or not pretty. If you guys want to call it Benny Ball,
Crit.
once again, this is not the Dynamo that we knew, because they haven't tied a game as
No
well.
Dynamo,
No,
yeah.
not Dynamo so far. But
Undynamo.
one thing that I wanted to mention, and I know that Dynastas, when he joined us last week, one quote that I really liked that he talked about, or that he had, was he mentioned about this type of games, right? The 1-0s, this type of scrappy kind of, like, you give the opponent because I mean, against Colorado, Houston had, and I had it right here and I closed it. Houston had 39% of the ball, which is not necessarily typical, right?
Yeah.
This season it is, right? This season
Yes.
it has been that, but it's one of those that it, and I mentioned it in my ratings, and you guys can go back and kind of make fun of me if I got some of the ratings incorrect. But I mentioned the fact that Ben Olsen set up his teams well. He continues to set his teams up well, but it's really like a Floyd Mayweather fight, right? Everybody hated Mayweather, his fights. They were so
Yeah.
boring. They were so long. It was just him evading,
Yeah,
jab
using his
after
shoulder.
jab. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it just took him, out punching his opponent literally to get that
Yeah.
win. And you know what? I know it's not again, it can be a little boring and likes the decks to go, but as Floyd Mayweather, what it feels to be undefeated, right? To
For
have that
real.
career, you take it, man. You take it any
EBE.
single day. But I know, again, it's not as fun, but you take
Yeah.
those, right? I know, Christian, you even mentioned that, if Boca
How do you
Juniors wins 1-0, you take it. Doesn't
all
matter.
day?
You're
3
praying
points or
pretty.
3 points.
If
Yeah.
it's a handball or not, which, did you guys see that handball by Austin, by the way?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, go watch it. The guy literally scored a goal with his hand. They never
Yo,
and
no VAR?
it withstand the VAR called, and even in the background you
Wow.
see the two players like kissing the hand that made the goal. So it's a little
That's
odd there, a
wild.
little odd. Yeah, it's like, man, wow, you really guys are gonna get away with that. But yeah, I mean,
Let's
I
see.
don't know what you guys your thoughts in Bayou Banter. Are you guys okay with this type of wins?
Yeah, that's
The
a good
one
question.
zero is that? Let me see. You can keep talking,
Wins
Christian. I'll
win,
type.
baby. Is that against St. Louis?
Yes,
Two,
yeah.
two.
What's his name? St. Louis.
Ramirez or Usuni? Yeah, okay. The goals were
Yeah,
Usuni.
Osuni was the one that scored it.
That was towards the end. Damn.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I'm with you. A win is a win. 3 points are 3 points. A win 1-0, win 1,000-0. I think at the end of the day, they just matter the same, right? On the standings, they do count goals. Obviously, the more goals you have, but at the beginning, they just look at the points. So if you can get that, and then also I think it represents like Houston in a way, right? Like being gritty, being blue collar. I mean, obviously we do have blue collar jobs here, but I mean Houston is known for the hustle. Yeah, I mean hustle town is known for like all these just blue collar, put your head down, get your work done, and let's move forward and get the win and move to the next. I mean, and that's just how it is. I mean, clutch city is because you come in clutch, right? Because you fight all the way to the end. Clutch is coming in last or coming at the last moment. I mean, that's just what it is. And I think that's just the identity that Houston has. So if the Dynamo can just continue to win 1-0 matches at home, I mean, bring them. I mean, it just makes it more exciting. I'm sure the ecstasy at the game of like waiting 70 minutes at the edge of your seat, obviously back and forth. It could be boring, but we know soccer is just a game of moments, a game of errors on 1 second, and an opportunity as well, and luck. And I think Anali had all of that, right? He had the right opportunity, he had the right skill to take a shot from there. And if he would have been playing on the right, he would have never gotten that. But since he was playing on the left, that was where he would, was standing. So it's just one of those things, is like good fortune. I guess Ben switching the sides, it also kind of helped him. And it's just like a bunch of, I don't know. I think it was a good, from what I saw, the little bit that I saw, it seemed like Ben Olsen is kind of getting a hang of it, and he's kind of finding the right spot for their players. Obviously, there's some guys that are still kind of missing, Ponce, Bogush. You would love for them to create more. I think Guillermo is still like, the go-to guy. But I think, eventually, hopefully not, they can show up against the good teams, not just the USL teams, right?
Yeah.
Not just against like those gritty Colorado, Real Salt Lake games that we all love to see. But,
and it's funny,
against the big boys, LAFCs, the Seattles, that's where you want them to kind of like come out and bring everything out.
Yeah, I'll clean up one thing I said. Okay, so the Austin thing, and I want to talk about Austin, but yeah, it looked like maybe that handball did get called back after all. Not looking,
yeah?
He did score after, but yeah, that actual handball one, I think, got called back.
Okay.
But no, this is something we talked, when they first played against LAFC, about being a measuring stick, right? Because they had been playing decent beforehand, and now you go into this match once more. A match that it's Sunday night, so you get Sunday night football, whatever they tend to coin this matchup. On the weekend, it is a late match. It's an 8 p.m. match, so if you have to work on Monday, if you're gonna have to, I don't know about you guys, but I'll start telling people you're gonna be sick that day, just so they know. Don't tell your boss, just tell the coworkers that, hey, I may be sick that day, so if you have to cover my shift, just FYI,
you figure it out.
You never know. Not like I've never done that in my life, Chris.
Of course, we don't do that. We're
respectable
guys.
Definitely, absolutely. But 8 p.m. kickoff in LA. No Boanga.
That's good.
Accumulated quite a few yellow cards, so now you just have to worry about Sonny.
Sonny boy.
What's it called? Let me see.
He could probably go back to England and help Tottenham.
Yeah, there's right. Oh, no. I dude, it's a bad scenario. West Ham needed to win. Now they literally have to win, and Tottenham needs to lose. And
that's true.
And the thing is, West Ham goes against Arsenal, so it's like, I mean, it'd be great if they can beat Arsenal, and then Man City wins, and it'd be a close. And then, dude, imagine, like, West Ham wins. They beat Arsenal. Arsenal loses the title, and Tottenham gets relegated. Oh my God!
A win-win. The Arsenal fans can be happy about something.
Yes. So that's my question to Jay Hurtado. Are you gonna be at the LAFC match? Do you go to the LA? Hey, I mean, they're pretty close to each other, right? Those two stadiums. I know, like, the LAFC and the Galaxy stadiums are pretty close. So I don't know which one you tend to go to, but we may need you.
I thought LAFC was like more downtown, and then LA Galaxy is more like Carson,
on the outskirts. Like but I don't think they're that far away. I think with traffic is maybe like 30 minutes with traffic. Damn, but Jay is the LA resident, so he may know more.
LA correspondent.
See, there you go. He's
boots on the ground.
Sir. Boots on the ground. All right, man. We need you. We need you to send all 3 points to Houston. That's why I always tell people when they go. But this another kicker here. Not that it matters to the Dynamo, because gladly they're going to be rested, of course. But LAFC does have a game on Wednesday, win or go home against Toluca in Toluca. So they will be traveling to Mexico City, 8:30 p.m. matchup as well. So
Toluca won the first one, right? 1-0, or am I tripping?
LAFC won.
LAFC won at home. Ooh.
And so it makes you would think that they're going to play their best lineup, of course.
They should, yeah.
But I think the thing here would be for LA. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, this is your scenario. You're the coach, right? Let's put you as a coach. if you play your best lineup on midweek and they lose, do you rest your best lineup for the weekend? And then kicker. But what if they win midweek? And again, a very crucial game. Do you rest the guys in the weekend?
Yeah.
Like, kind of like a
Yeah.
celebratory aspect of it, huh?
No, yeah. If you win, you rest. If you lose, you play again. That's just how it is. I mean, that's how it should be, at least in my opinion. You gotta go. Like, the only way, if you lose, the only way that you're not gonna play on the weekend is because you killed yourself on Wednesday, like physically, right? Not for real. But
Yeah, because I
that's the
mean
only way.
the final does get played this week or this month. Sorry, they played the
Yeah.
final of this competition May 30th. So of course it would be like
The
way
Champions
ahead.
League.
Yes, they played before the
Dang.
World Cup. So
This is
on
semis.
this is semis.
Because what, Tigres and Columbus on the other side,
No, Tigres
I
in
believe.
Nashville.
Nashville. I knew it was a yellow team. I just couldn't remember
Yeah.
which one.
So
Interesting.
Tigres in Nashville, and then I think it's interesting. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I would like for I definitely being a little biased. Like I do want an MLS team to like win this tournament in
Nashville,
comparison
but
to
not
yeah
LA.
not LA plastic
Yeah, not LA.
team like money here, but no, but it goes to think like, okay, what would be the strongest lineup? And we know that, I mean, LAFC has a ton of players for rotation, but
Yeah,
we'll just finish with this on this topic. Whatever the result is for them midweek, do you think that we've seen enough good things from this Dynamo that they can get some points in LA?
they should. I mean, oh man, I'm scared because I mean, oh man, it's weird. It's weird because the Dynamo, I mean, they went through that three game streak. Right now they're on the up and up, but the thing is that the games that they played and they won, and some of them with difficulties, weren't against really good teams. Or teams that you should have beaten, like Orlando, San Diego. Yeah, they're big names, and maybe one was away, one was at home, but like those were teams that are kind of being hit by on every side. They're being demoralized by everybody else before it gets to Houston.
Yeah.
So that's like you said earlier, the measuring stick, stop being negative. The measuring stick, it's just that I'm trying to be realistic in a sense, right? I'm at least I'm trying.
I think till this
But that's the
season,
measuring stick,
till
right?
they
Like,
can prove that they can beat a worthy opponent, that I think that's right. I think that it's you have to go into this kind of in a negative mindset of like, we haven't seen them do it. They are playing well. They've obviously won 5 of their last 6 matches, but can it translate to beating again a team that is about to, a game away of making it to a final of the
continental
Champions League,
final, yeah.
right? Exactly. So, I mean, if they can pull that, obviously, if they get those a win or they get a draw, I think that right there should already boost the confidence going forward. Now, if you get a loss, we know that fans may not like it, but at the end of the day, the team may see it as like a little step, right? If you're getting thumped 6-2 against LAFC, then man, you really are looking like, I don't think we're there yet where we need to be this season. If you lose 1-0, you kind of take it maybe with a grain of salt, depending who's on the other side of that team.
Yeah,
but
it's with context, right? Like if you go to LAFC, you lose 1-0 or even like 2-0 with like a late goal, but you see a Dynamo that with grit, a Dynamo that you're a Jay Hurtado, you're like, at least we tried, at least they gave it all, at least they left everything on the field. Then I mean, something to build on, right? You at least see the grit, the positivity. But I mean, we saw it in those games that they were losing. The question was that Ben Olsen would say, well, the heart wasn't there. So it's like, bro, like if you as a coach are saying that the heart wasn't there, then what can we expect as fans? You know what I mean? So it's just that, right? Like I feel like that also has a lot to do with it, because you could lose a game and still, have your head held up high. I mean, we saw Louisville lost, but I mean, I think a lot of people respected Louisville more than anything, because even though they were a really good team and they were one of the best teams in USL, I mean, they gave everything, 120 minutes worth of everything they had, and they gave the Dynamo and the MLS side with a lot more money and a lot of
Yeah.
more resources compared to them. They give them a fight till the end, and it
I
was not easy. So yeah,
I will say I think they'll get a positive result. I hope that whether there's rotation or not, I my thing would be like I don't want my cousin Eddie Segura to score a brace on the Dynamo with a heavy rotation, right? Because I look bad on the team. But to be or to contest what Jay put on here, at this point of the season, you need to be firing at all cylinders. I disagree with that. I personally disagree with that because there's this big break, and you don't want to get hot right now. It's not leading into the playoffs, if that makes sense. Because you really want to
no,
be the hotter team towards the end of the season going into the playoffs if you want to win a
no,
trophy. Do you
yeah,
want to win points? And I think looking at the schedule and the amount of wins that they have, this is perfect for the Dynamo. They're sitting in a decent spot in 8th place. They're contesting in that. But yes, you do want to collect more wins before you go into the break. But
yeah.
understanding that you don't want to be at your best till after the break, Christian.
I agree with that a little, I guess, to a certain extent, but I disagree mostly, to be honest, because I feel like if you're one of the players right now and you look at the schedule, you're like, man, like this May we have 5 games, right? Let's go all out because we know that we're gonna have about a month and a half of chilling. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
let's just say you can, hopefully nothing happens, but let's just say somebody gets injured or gets a knock or something like that. You have almost 2 months to kind of regroup and reassess and get your body right. You're gonna have some friendlies in between, but I mean, why not go all out in these last 4 games and just give it your all and get as many points as you can, and then reassess and come back. Obviously, don't fall asleep in that second half of the season, but why not go all out knowing that you have so much time in between? I mean, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. If you can boost yourself up, if you can get 12 out of 12 in this little stretch, or it might be 9 out of 9, why not go all out and give everybody a fight, give LAFC with
No,
starters with
there's 15 points out there.
Yeah,
MLS
bro,
related, so
15 points. I mean, you need what we say 50 to get into the playoffs, like 100%. That's I can't do math, but that's like a quarter. You know what I mean? Like with the numbers that you have right now, and you can add let's just say 9.
I mean, that would give the Dynamo 30 points if you win all out,
bro.
Right? If you win all out, you're standing at 30 points.
You're almost a foot in,
right?
Almost.
So
you get a toe in the door of the playoffs. And if they're gonna make signings, you're gonna get Lucas Halter back,
right?
And I mean, Pat Onstad keeps talking about summer signings, bro. If you're gonna make this group even better, I mean, imagine, like, why not give yourself a cushion? Now, I'm not saying that they're not gonna go out there and not give it their all because they're competitors, right? But I'm saying don't chill, go all out, bust your head, like go all out there and try to get as many points as you can. I think it would be a successful May if they can get 9 points out of the 15, honestly. Anything less than that, I would say is a mediocre to not good. Right. In my opinion, I might be wrong, but in my opinion,
and like I said, one thing that Adrian would shout out to Adrian, I hadn't seen him before. Shout out, welcome to the Bayou banter. But he talked about being hot on both of the seasons. But I think the big difference, guys, is that it's very condensed. You're going to play that many games. What I mentioned, 7 games, 7 games in the next 2 weeks, basically. Like if you,
but then you have 2 months of rest.
Absolutely, but then after that, you're only playing basically every once a week with a couple in between. Not
that's good.
Wednesday.
That means you get
Wednesday, Saturday,
a lot of rest.
Yeah,
that's good because that means that back after that in the second half of the season, then you get your rest in. Obviously this is the time to kind of especially going into May because it's just the last stretch. I mean, you're playing difficult teams.
So you are playing very difficult.
LAFC, Salt Lake, Vancouver. Vancouver's always annoying. And then Galaxy, who I don't know how they're doing, but I mean, they usually tend to be either really, really hot or really, really cold.
And
So
it's a little bit of a rivalry match in that sense. Like
that
they
too.
Houston, LA, for a while, they always
Yeah.
play like at the end of the season, like whichever one won
Yeah.
made it into the playoffs, the other one did not, type of
And
thing.
I'll
So
and I'll be honest, if they want to chill, that what's crazy about these games, that all of these are conference games.
yes,
So like all of these
yeah,
points
head
matter,
to
right?
heads, right? Yeah,
They head to head. They're 6 point games as they say. But if you wanted to chill against Vancouver to kind of get a first team in against St. Louis and break the brakes off of them to push your chances into the next round, I'm so happy with that.
yeah.
I'm hoping and praying to baby Jesus that Ben Olsen doesn't take. I mean, he takes the U.S. Open Cup Series, but I'm hoping that we don't have that mentality of like, it's just the US Open Cup. Because I always say this, that is the
Oh,
easiest way to get into
yes,
a
yeah. You want to play
continental
international, yeah,
tournament.
continental,
Yes.
it is definitely a tricky one because we know. I mean, if there's heavy rotation in Vancouver, that'd be interesting. But I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's the last game at home for the Dynamo before
Yeah.
they go
That's
into
true.
break. And so because of that, they're gonna try to milk it as much as they can, knowing that there's that
Yeah.
influx of fans there will be, heading into the World Cup in Houston. So I think
And
they'll do whatever they can to
also,
win
bro,
as well in
imagine
front of
this
a big
because
crowd.
I've been thinking about this for years now. So last time there was a World Cup in 1994 in the United States,
Mhm.
literally like the World Cup was so crazy. And imagine like now we have social media. Now we have like literally you can see everything at once, like everything at once. You can see what's happening in New York and LA at the moment. Back in 1994, you couldn't. You had to watch TV and hope maybe that you would see something. Imagine now,
You can
like,
catch OJ Simpson too going
bro,
crazy in
literally.
1994.
I mean, you could do a bunch of stuff, right? But I've been thinking about this for years now, since they actually said that the World Cup was going to be in the US. So the World Cup in the US literally birthed a whole league, bro. Like the MLS was birthed out of that. And obviously, it started slowly with 10 teams and gradually got better. And then we saw the big giant boom in like the 2000s, or not that long ago. I mean, there was like 20 teams not that long ago. And then they just kind of started birthing all these teams out of nowhere, right? And they're probably not going to stop, right? But I always think about like the repercussions of the World Cup and what it's going to do to local teams, bro. The Dynamo, the games, because the first game after the World Cup in July 22nd, they have two games back to
At
back.
home,
They
yeah.
go DC and then you have a rivalry match against Austin. Those games are going to be so packed, bro.
I would love to see them sold
So
out.
packed.
And then we can
Because
talk about Wednesday game being at 70% capacity and I'd be happy with that too.
yes, yeah. And yes, yeah. But yeah, that Austin game on a Saturday should be probably the biggest game in Dynamo history.
And if it's not, then they did something wrong.
Yes.
And
That game has to sell itself
it has to
because
sell itself.
just
People are in a high. The tickets are
yes,
like
bro. They
10% in
start
comparison to
marketing
what
it
a World
now.
Cup is.
Like if you are somebody in the Dynamo people, whatever
Yeah.
that is, please circle that game should be the biggest game of the entire season. You're
Yes.
playing a local rival that most people hate, and it's usually the same thing, like blue collar against the preppy boys, and that is going to be
My
like
dad
the
is a
biggest.
lawyer.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, I'm so excited right now. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna be huge, bro. The Dynamo is gonna have such an influx of fans. Like, I think the ones that were kind of on the fence, they're gonna have to say like, bro, and even the ones that were not fans of soccer, usually every 4 years everybody becomes a fan of soccer for no reason because they love the tournament. It's like the Olympics, everybody becomes super patriotic just because you're competing against everybody else, because everybody's competitive. And just, man, that game is going to be so nice. So if you haven't bought a ticket yet, I would say, I mean, I'm working for the Dynamo right now, but I would say get a ticket against Austin. I think it's going to be one of the best games atmospheres wise. I think they need to prep a tifo, and they
Yes.
please start now.
Please.
The surge, El Batallón, Texan Army, please, bro. We need like the biggest and the best job you have ever done in your life. That has to be it, because that is going to be like the eye opener, the catcher, like the bait for all those fans that have been either on the fans that are new to or are new to the game, because
Yeah.
a lot of people are going to be new and they're going to be here, bro. And funny enough, yesterday, sorry, long-winded thing, but yesterday I was driving through the North Houston. I went to vote a game, and then I was making my way back through weird back streets because I was gonna go get some
Making my way
tacos.
downtown.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
literally, bro. Because I was good. I told my wife, I was like, downtown is so like we could go to Pasadena right now and it'll be shorter than going to my house. But and I was like, and I was telling my wife, there's so many people in this damn city, and like we don't even realize, because I was like, there's a whole world in the northwest of Houston that I
You're
have never
sitting
seen.
like a whole new
Yeah,
world.
like,
Keep giving me
and
content, man.
yeah, and I was just thinking, like, man, think about like what's going on right now at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, and then just think of like what's going on in Pearland, or thinking what's going on in Humble, or think about what's going on in the Woodlands, even in Katy or whatever. I was like, the amount of the millions of people that there are in this city,
Dude,
and we have a $20,000 seater that let's fill it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's
if you
crazy. I don't
can
know. I'm too
get
excited.
a football field full to
Yeah.
watch bananas play
Bananas.
baseball,
Yeah. A
but
fake baseball team.
a fake baseball team.
Yes.
You can't tell me that you can get 20,000 people at a
Please.
soccer stadium. Come on. I know we've talked about this so much, and I feel that it's not our job, and maybe not a thing to talk on, but we have to mention it. You guys have to get it right. By you guys, I mean the people, they are running all these marketing campaigns and getting
Yeah.
people out there. And to a point, it feels like we sit here, we talk, and it's like it falls on deaf ears, and we're just, or ourselves are just bashing our heads into walls. But we have to continue to mention it, and I don't think that they're doing a bad job. It's gotten better for sure, but there's still more to be done. And if you don't take advantage of the World Cup, and you know what, we need to write this down, Christian.
Let's do it. I have
And AI, if you can't clip this, but if in
Clip it.
if the match on Saturday, July 25th against Austin FC is not a sold out crowd, then we did something wrong. As a whole soccer community, we did something wrong, and it
100%.
pains me. But Christian, I know you probably have more to talk about. I just want to finish up with Dynamo 2.
No,
Let's
yeah,
because we completely forgot to talk about Dynamo 2 last week.
they've been killing it, huh?
We're just so used to them winning all the time. So,
Yeah, it's like it's all green on
it's all
the
green.
thing. Right?
So quickly, I'll just mention that they continue to remain undefeated. They beat
That's
Colorado
wild, bro.
Rapids 2-3-1. Matthew Arana scored a very nice goal. Reese Miller scored a goal, and Gilberto Rivera scored from a penalty kick as well. So the guys are on a roll, man. This long stretch of away games has not bothered them at all. They're just on a roll. Jeremy Hurdle, I can't believe they haven't said that he's the real coach of the team. Come on, they still have him as an interim coach. Come on, guys. Give this guy some love. But yeah, I mean, since their long stretch of games so far, they have 4 road games. They beat Austin in penalties in the first one. Then they beat Real Monarchs 1-0. They beat Sporting Kansas City 2-1, and Colorado Rapids 3-1. Their next game is on Saturday, May 9th.
Difficult one.
St. Louis City. So yep, it's
St. Louis also undefeated.
1 and 2. I'm sorry.
So
oh yes, undefeated. Yes, correct. Yeah, St. Louis is undefeated as well. They have the same amount of points than the Dynamo 2 have. However, they have more draws than the Dynamo. So this would be, if you want to see who the top dog is, because these guys are just running away with the league basically on the West Conference. So Western Conference. So that would be a very good matchup. And again, St. Louis city. They tend to field very good crowd as well in St.
Yeah.
Louis, something the Dynamo will see in a couple weeks. A couple weeks for that U.S. Open Cup matchup. All right, Christian, an hour and 20
Yes.
minutes in. It's been a long episode. It's been a good episode. Hopefully, you
Good one.
guys
Yeah.
have been enjoying it. Thank you, Bayou Banter, for joining us for as long as you've joined us. Yeah, Christian, floor is yours if you want to share anything. Otherwise, I do have something, or I can start, whatever. You
Yeah,
tell me.
just a quick one, 5 seconds. Just continue to chase your dreams. Like I said, this weekend I was able to go back to Volt, which is something that I knew I liked to do, which is calling games. You guys probably seen it on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Cheap plug there. And I was reposting some of the stuff that I did over the weekend, and honestly, it's something that I truly can say that I love doing. And then and then also, like, not only chase your dreams, but make sure you have a good circle around you, because I took my wife on Sunday because she'd never been, and then she was sitting next to me the whole time that I was calling a game. And then obviously everybody loves positive words of affirmation. It's my love language, if you guys have ever read that book. And at the end she was like, man, you're really good at this. I was like, oh, it melted my heart. So if same thing. So follow your dreams, and hopefully you have a really good circle around you that not only keeps you humble but also builds you up. And I know sometimes it's not easy to find those people, but if you do find them, make sure you kind of hold them, keep them, and love them as well. So make sure you do that. That's all I got.
Yeah, and I'll just add to your positive vibes here. I know last week I talked about 3 good things, right? It's something that a
Yes,
challenge that
that
I'm
was a great one.
starting
Yeah.
at my job. So I'll share with you guys. Today is the very first day of my challenge, so feel free
Nice.
to follow along in
I'll
your own
start
way, of
doing that.
course.
Yeah.
But take your time. What I did is it was 8 p.m. It's been basically the entire day. So look back at the good things, and it does give you, the app actually gives you a little quote. So it says, what 3 good things happened today, and the quote is from Bob Goff, and it says, "Embrace uncertainty. Some of the most beautiful chapters in our lives won't have a title until much later." Which is true, right?
It's true.
It goes to the saying that we didn't know we were in the good days, till we
Yeah.
left them. But I'll share
Yeah.
with you guys, my 3 things here. I put my dad. I felt great knowing my
Awesome.
dad's recovery from his hip surgery is going well. Number 2 was a long walk. There was your hey, you took a long walk.
Yes.
We stay looking at Strava, but I wrote, I felt great because I could just look around and take everything in. Right? Sometimes we're too busy just flying by on a car. So it was.
Yes.
And then my last one, torchy tacos. I had torchy tacos for
Hey.
dinner. I felt really happy to eat a good meal with my family after a long day. So stay positive, guys. This is a very cruel world at times. Sometimes we have good days. Sometimes we have bad days. Sometimes we have
Yeah.
terrible days. But we do believe that there's definitely way more good out there than the bad that we see posted on social media all the time, Christian.
I heard something today, listened to a podcast, and it said a good life is nothing just but a string of really good days. And I thought, I was like, man, that's really good. Like it does make sense.
That
Try
that
to
was way more positive than when I heard. My one of my former bosses told me the other one, the one that goes like the days are long but the years are short. That I feel like that's a
Yeah.
little bit more pessimistic
A
because
little bit.
yeah.
It-
So I
it-
like
yeah.
that one. I like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. I was like, man, that's really cool. It was two entrepreneur guys, and one was asking the other guy, like, why don't you think about, he was asking him, because the guy was like, I don't think about like long-term things. I try to take it day by day. Sometimes he was like, sometimes we have like projects that like we look 6 weeks in advance, but he was like, if not, we literally try to take it day by day. And then the other guy was like, yeah, it reminds me of that. A good life is just a string of really good days.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's true. And he was like, and we sometimes we had bad ones, but it's like, just like the Dynamo, bringing it back to the Dynamo. Sometimes you have some bad strings, but hey, turn it around.
Turn around, baby.
Turn it around. 5 out of 6, baby, and start to feeling. Get that feeling back. Of really good days.
We'll say positive vibes. We'll say that the Dynamo will get some points in LA. So we'll come back Monday. But of course, stay tuned. There is a Thursday Orange song coming soon, and I'll drop it as soon as we're done here. I'll drop it in the Bayou Banter so people know who we're looking at. But Christian, you want to tell the people how they can connect with us, and we'll get out of here, man.
Yes, BayouCitySoccer.net is a website, guys. Make sure you go check us out there. I mentioned it earlier, but there are new features on the website that you can kind of see the roster of both the Dynamo and the Dash. So it's awesome. You can see salary caps, international DPs, a bunch of other stuff that you might want and know to have information. I think we saw it earlier in a t-shirt, so you can hate correctly and say positive correctly or something like that, or support correctly. And then, just check out our social media. Make sure you go to Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and X. At Bayou City Soccer, that's where you're going to find us. So make sure you check us out. Website is there. Shout out to Ugly Guppy at uglyguppy.com, Elotes Bravos at Elotes Bravos on Instagram, and Unisport at Unisport. Make sure you check us out. Check them out. And also, you get a 10% off if you go into the stores and just tell them that we sent you. So that's awesome. Other than that, thank you guys. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, subscribe and like to the YouTube channel. We did beat our 600 mark. Woo! We're trying to go to the 650. So if you haven't yet, I know we have a bunch of people watching right now. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit the little bell. It'll show you when we go live, and then just leave a thumbs up. That always helps our views and kind of expand this, algorithm things.
Wait, how many followers we got? Over 600, right? Can you say that?
Yes. Yes.
Over 600. Just say it.
Yeah, over 600. 611. There you go. Clap, baby. So we're on the road to 650. We're almost there. We're at 611. So that honestly went really quick from negative or under 600 to 611. It was a pretty fast bump. So appreciate you guys. Much love, man.
Yeah. So again, we'll see you on Monday. We'll hopefully goodbyes. We'll keep them rolling, guys. But don't forget to hold it down. Keep it forever orange. Adios.
Yeah. Adios. Someday we'll get the little empanadas.
Adios.